Hi guys, welcome back to stage 2 of the after party again. So I'm having a voice over this because for some reason none of the audio recorded on my video, so I'll have to deal with that later for another video. But I've not been on the bike since Wednesday, and I've been away visiting family, so when I got back today I was like, I need to do something, and out of the blue I just thought, you know what, let's do stage 2 again, but with a twist. So my racing score is 552. I've decided to jump up and give the 570 to 725 a go, which is A-Cat riders. I've been quite strong of late, although if you have a look at some of my previous videos, I've definitely been a little bit hit and miss on certain things, but I've definitely wanted to push myself, and there's 8 people signed up for this, so I figured, why not, let's jump in on it. The other groups were still just as sparse, so I did pretty well on Monday on this, so I thought I'd give it a go. So the plan for this then is to hang on for dear life. So I'm not really expecting to be able to do much on this. I've not long got off doing a 5-hour drive, so my legs are not exactly firing on all cylinders, and I've been off the bike for 5 days, so this was just spare of the moment. Let's just go and rip my legs off before stage 2 is finished, and we'll move on to stage 3. And off we go. Straight away I was wondering whether, since this is my first A race, was this going to be straight out the traps at like 6 to 8 watts per kilo, but actually it was quite tame, and I was quite happy with that. So literally from like the start, this guy Party, S-Party, just kept punching off the frontier just to make the rest of the pack kind of chase, and he is pushing like 4.7 watts per kilo, and he's already got a 1 second gap, and no one decides to close it down straight away. I literally want to sit in the pack and let everyone else do the work on this and try and keep my watts as low as possible for the climb at the end, because I suspect all of these A-Cat riders are much better climbers than me. And as you'll see, straight away he's already started extending the gap to 2 seconds. It went up to 3, then back down to 2, back up to 3 again, but he seems to be kind of gapping the rest of the group in what looks like he wants to do an individual time trial. So we do start to string out a little bit here. The guy on the front of this group is pushing like 4 watts per kilo, but the guy out front is pushing more. So it keeps starting to look like he's going to extend that gap, because no one is really pushing on at all in this group yet. So it's a flat route this, but as we go around this corner, you got a little 2% incline, and I did think that the watts would have went up on this to maybe use this as an opportunity to kind of bridge that gap, but actually he goes again, and he's still starting to take seconds off this group. So have we made a mistake by letting him go out front and he's pushing 5 watts per kilo where we're in the 3s and 4s, and the gap is just growing. So the front of this group starts to work a little bit harder now to try and pull them back. So it gets to 7 seconds, and I think the panic kicks in. So they start to push close to 5 watts per kilo just to try and rein them back in. But it is pan flat for this first part until the climb later on. So I suspect that they were still trying not to burn as many matches as possible, but try and rein him in. It's gone up to 8 seconds, so he still is working hard to extend it. I said before we had 8 people. I think actually only 7 started the race, so I don't know if the 8th one just crossed the line and then quit, but they're not showing up on the screen anywhere. But the 7 of us are definitely showing and pushing on. So it's still 7 in an A race is not too bad, especially this late in the week. So it starts to string out now. I've got to put on a little bit of power just to try and stay with them because they are. I think they've noticed the danger, and they really are just trying to catch up to the to Pardy, who's out front, and we start bringing it down slowly. So it's down to 6 seconds already. So as we go through here now, we've already got it down to 3 seconds, and hopefully we can kind of close it down on the next banner. We're a lot closer now. We can start seeing them. It just takes someone to bridge over. And we're really starting to get strung out now because everyone just kind of wants to get back onto that guy's wheel and get him in. But as soon as we get there and he's reined back in, then they kind of lower the watts again and everyone kind of goes back into recovery mode. That guy just slots back in, and good effort. Almost 5k solo, making the group work to get him back. But I presume now he's going to be in massive recovery mode. Next few Ks are pretty uneventful. We are just essentially staying as a group, and they are trying to keep the pace relatively high, but it's not as quick as the one I did earlier on in the week, so it's a bit surprising to me. I'm still managed to sit in the draft and saving quite a bit of energy. So what I noticed, the two guys in green are very strong. So at this point, that the first guy in green is a Desi, and that party push to the front, and they do start pumping out some watts, trying to string out the group. But I decide to just try and stay with them, because it's a bit of a lonely road with only 7 of you if you get dropped off the back of this. So I just thought I'd try and stay with them, and then before you know it, the group's back together. But just make sure I don't go on the front, so I'll ease off the watts anytime I start catching someone. And then as soon as we get back together, that Desi goes over the top again, starts putting down big watts. So then we have to keep pushing on again. So like at the beginning of the race, Pardy's decided to go off the front again and make us chase. So as we do, so we're just gonna make a decision. Are we gonna chase him like we did the previous time, or are we gonna maybe just get up and bridge over and see how it goes from there? So I decide I'm just gonna bridge over to him and see how things go from there. I start putting out some watts, just get out the saddle a little bit for a tiny bit, and just make sure I make a big effort now to get over to him. And he's still got a 2-second gap on me, but to the rear person in our group I've got a 3-second gap. So it just shows how quick he rode away from us. And then as soon as I get to him, I just get off the pedals and just try and conserve energy, because my heart rate's up at 185, so I just kind of want to get that low. But everyone else now behind is using energy trying to chase back on. So it is, I suppose, a bit of cat and mouse. Maybe that Party's kind of wearing us all down for later on. Was I too stupid to chase that? But with 9k to go, there's still a little bit of time for recovery, and we're not at the bottom of the climb yet. So unlike the previous 2 attacks by different riders, this one is that Fergo just decides to push on through the banner and just tries to ride away, like 6.2 watts per kilo, and just tries to get away from the pack. But then Party chases down, and it starts getting a bit silly, and everyone's starting out the saddle sprinting, trying to get back together. Party goes straight past and goes again. This definitely seems to have been his tactic of the race. He seems to want to break up the race and just keep attacking, and then sits up and lets us chase him down. But again, like the previous time he attacked, I chased this one down and just made sure I got back on the wheel. We've got a couple of second gap to everyone, but no one wants to seem to go on the front and work. So I just try to hold on again. So the pace is getting quite high in points now, and you can see that everyone wants to kind of string this out before we get to the climb. But I am just holding on for dear life. My legs are absolutely dead. My right leg especially after driving. So I'm starting to regret all my life decisions right now. And I've still got the climb to go. What I did notice was those last couple of attacks and stuff like that did drop one of the riders, and he's now 500 metres behind us. So I'm pleased in the fact that in this A race I'm definitely not going to come last, which is a little bit of a bonus for me, because I think that was the thing I was worried about. I was going to see if I could hang with these A riders, but what I didn't want to do was get my legs blown off and just be me out the back, regretting even more of my life decisions of wanting to do this. So coming up to this little 7% kicker here, I was a bit concerned that this was where it was all going to kick off, so I made sure I was at the front and done a little bit of powering through this. Everyone's watts kind of go up a little bit, but I didn't see, in my eyes, any kind of big attacks on this part here. I think everyone was kind of saving their matches for the final climb, and that's great, because that's not where I wanted the whole pack to be going up. So it seems now that the pace has just gone through the roof. I'm almost hitting 50k an hour, and that was on a 1%er there. I think they're really trying to blow the legs off everyone before we get to the bottom of the climb, and it's kind of working with me. It's definitely working. It's not a tactic I like because I'm not a climber, so getting up these things is tough enough. But as soon as we hit the little ramps there, you can start seeing their riders starting to push through. And we're going to start seeing some attacks very soon. So before we've even hit the start of this climb, this very incremental climb on the rooftop KOM, we're already really spaced out here. So I'm just trying to make sure that I'm doing 6 watts per kilo just to try and stay with these guys here. And it is kind of a 5-minute effort, but I'm just trying to make sure I don't go off the front. And then I do. And they've got me on the front, which is not ideal. And maybe it was me pushing the pace, but I wasn't actually going for it too much. I was only like 4 watts per kilo, which on these kind of little incremental climbs is not a great lot. But I'm in the wind, so I'm definitely burning matches that I haven't got. So I am now definitely working hard. I'm most of the time in the above 3 watts per kilo most of the time. I'm trying to stay with them. When I get on the back, I'm dropping back down to 2s just to try and stay in the draft, because it is quite a draftable climb. But then every incline, I'm pushing hard to try and stay with them, because these are definitely A riders and I am not. So every part of my body is screaming, and I'm looking at the thing with kind of 1.1k to go, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold on to these with the pace that they're going at. So as we hit 700 meters to go, I'm in shock that I'm actually still with the group, to be fair. And I was kind of hoping that this was going to take it down to some kind of sprint, but I'm working so hard trying to stay with these. They are all pushing above 5 watts per kilo, and then all of a sudden, like, I just see them with 500 meters to go, they just start to drift away from me, and I am working really, really hard just to try to stay on. Even though my avatar's sprinting, I'm even using my aero boost early just to try and get back to the back of them. But they are super strong, and I'm guessing they're climbers, but they may not be, right? They could just be standard A riders. And then I just get up to the back of them after working extremely hard to get up there. And then with less than 300 metres to go, they all ramp it up and orange numbers start coming out, and they all just start disappearing away from me. And at this point I literally have nothing left. I'm absolutely done. But this was an experiment. I never thought I was going to win it. I definitely knew it was going to be a step up, and it would have been a step up fresh, never mind after spending 5 hours in a car beforehand. So I'm pretty proud of staying with the group to the last, I can now say 300 metres. I thought it was 500 metres, but I managed to get to the back of the group for 300 metres, and I crossed the line at 6th. Did have a look on Zwift Power, and I got a 5th place, so someone in there, obviously they're not signed up to Zwift Power. But I think the thing that really impressed me the most was, if you look at my watts per kilo throughout that race, I'm a big advocate of trying to keep that as low as possible. If someone's doing 4.4 watts per kilo, they're really working hard, and I try my best to not work hard in races. So in this one, I've only done 3.3 watts per kilo all the way through, and I'm pretty happy with that. But to answer the ultimate question, can I hang with riders in an A race? No. I think that last 5 to 300 metres kind of showed the difference there. So a bit more work. I'm still doing pretty well in the Bs. So in the future, I might jump up. So busy calendar this week. I've got a ladder race tomorrow on Monday. I might do stage 3, the LaGuardia after party on Tuesday. I might go out on my bike if it's nice on Wednesday. And then Thursday I've got the Team Poggy Club Championships. So individual race on one of the new French cobbled routes. So that should be good. And I'll probably do videos of all 3 this week. So if you've enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, follow the channel, drop a comment, ask a question, right? But more so, come back for more. Right? See you soon. Bye-bye.